Hi guys! I've got something really special for you today, packed with tricks and surprises. We're going to learn how to play the fried liver attack. We're going to break it all down, step by step, all the way into the details. Okay, let's jump right in. Open the game with e4. Black's most popular response is e5. Now develop knight to attack the pawn. After Black plays knight c6, bring bishop c4. Now we're in the Italian game. If Black responds with knight f6, two knights defense. Be careful, guys. The pawn is under attack. The standard Italian game setup is d3 followed by c3. Then develop bishop on the dark square diagonal, castle kingside. But today we're going to focus on knight g5, attacking f7 together with bishop. Black has no way to stop this threat, except by playing d5. Just take the pawn. Of course, you're attacking knight as well. Now Black has a few options. Knight a5 or knight d4 are both possible. But the line we're going to cover is when Black takes the pawn back with knight. Obviously, they don't want to fall behind in material. Okay. Let's play fried liver attack! Attacking queen and rook! So after king takes knight, bring queen to f3, giving check. At the same time, you're attacking knight for the second time. Black's king has a few squares to escape the check. The best move is considered to be king e6. Let's go through them one by one. First of all, if king goes to g8, this is Black's worst choice. Yes, just take knight with check. If bishop blocks, of course, bishop takes bishop. Checkmate. And it's the same if queen takes bishop. Mamma mia! Queen takes queen, check. Bishop blocks, and mate. Let's go back, and let's keep going. So, king to g8. Bad choice. But what if king, goes back home? What? Bro, we get our minor piece back. Mate in one threat on f7. Look at Black's king. It is already moved, so castling is no longer possible, and the position is clearly very uncomfortable. Meanwhile, you're just one move away from castling, and your knight is ready to develop. Okay, let's say, queen e7. Controlling f7. We take knight, and check. If pawn takes bishop, go ahead and continue from this position. No matter what Black uses to block queen's attack, you're going to win the rook on 8. You're winning! We're up a rook! And don't forget to keep your king safe. Enjoy the game! Okay, let's go back, guys. What if queen d7? We take knight. After queen takes bishop, simply take queen. And after pawn takes queen, go ahead and continue the game from this position. Black has 3 isolated pawns, including a doubled pawn. That kind of pawn structure is definitely not easy to play. You can develop knight to c3. Activate bishop wherever you like. Build a solid pawn structure. Get your king ready for the endgame. Start preparing your pawns for promotion. Both rooks can eventually be brought toward the center. The engine gives white an evaluation of around plus 2.5. Alright, let's keep going. What if king e7? Just capture knight. Look, we're attacking knight twice, and queen f7 is still a check threat. Let's say bishop d7, protecting knight. Go ahead and give check. After king moves, you can continue from this position. We're up a pawn, and Black's king is still in a very dangerous position. You can push the pawn to open the way for bishop. You can choose to castle queenside. Or if Black isn't careful, let's say queen e7, trying to trade queens. Yes! Thank you! A beautiful checkmate! Okay, let's go back. What if, instead of bishop d7, Black plays queen e8? It protects knight and also covers f7. Okay, just take knight. Obviously, you're attacking queen too. If queen takes bishop, queen takes queen. Pawn recaptures. Go ahead and continue from this position. The pawn structure is the same as before. Now activate your minor pieces. You can probably castle kingside. Besides being up a pawn, Black also has 3 isolated pawns, including a doubled pawn. You're clearly better. The engine gives white an evaluation of around plus 2.5. Enjoy the game. So the best move for black is king e6. It also helps defend the knight. Even though you're down a minor piece here, the engine actually gives white an evaluation of around plus 1.6. White has the better position. So, what's your move? Okay, develop knight to c3, adding more pressure on the pinned knight. According to the Lichess database, black usually has 2 main choices here: knight e7 or knight b4. Those are black's 2 best options. Or if black responds, let's say knight d4, attacking queen. Just take knight with check, and at the same time, you're attacking queen. And if queen takes queen, just take queen back with check. After king moves, bring bishop back. We're protecting c2. Then castle. You can also push the pawn to a4, followed by knight b5 with check, while attacking knight at the same time. You're still better here. We're up a pawn, and black has isolated pawns. So go ahead and play it from this position. Okay, let's go back to the main line. What if knight e7? Polario defense. Yep, it's defending knight. Now push the pawn to d4. Black's best move here is c6. Because if pawn takes pawn, just say thank you very much for opening the center. Let's give check. And no matter where the king goes, go ahead and regain your minor piece. Let's say king d7. Just take knight. Then develop bishop, pinning the knight you're already attacking. Castling queenside is a very logical choice because your rook immediately creates new problems for black. Or if knight takes knight, just capture back with check. If king goes to e8, queen f7 is checkmate. Or if bishop blocks the check, give another check. If king goes to e8, queen f7, mate. Or if king goes to c6, queen b5, checkmate. Okay, let's go back. What if king e7? Okay, I like that move. Now find the mate in 2. If you find it, drop your answer in the comments. Thanks! Alright, let's keep going. What if king f7? Just take knight, simple. You can take the knight with a discovered check. Let's say knight takes knight. Of course, just capture back with check. Now, what's black's move? Bishop can't block. It's checkmate, guys. Queen takes bishop. So king has to go to f6. No other option. What would you play here? If you were thinking about queen h4 check, with the idea that after the king moves, you'll win the queen, remember guys, the position will end up equal. After bishop launches a counterattack, black is simply going to win your queen back. So, just take the pawn. Still, check. And if king e7... What? You can give check, and you're clearly going to win the queen! And there are also 2 checkmates here. King d7, queen e6, mate! So after king g6... another check. After bishop blocks, keep checking. If king goes to h5, it's mate in 2. Bishop blocks, then queen takes bishop, checkmate. And it's the same if king goes to g6. Develop bishop with check. After king moves, take queen with a discovered check. If king goes to h5 or h6, queen g5, mate. And it's the same if bishop blocks. Give another check. King's only move. Mate. Let's go back to this position. Earlier, black played knight takes knight. But what if bishop e6? Don't let your opponent develop. Let's give check. If knight blocks the check, That knight is going to be lost for nothing after pawn g4, okay? The best move is for the king to go back home. Keep the checks coming. After pawn takes knight, you win the bishop. Then grab the pawn. And it's checkmate threat on f7. Let's say bishop protects the pawn. Go ahead and castle. For example, queen d6, trying to attack bishop. You can keep taking the pawn, and after queen takes bishop, just take the rook. Or you can also play it safe and protect bishop. b7 is still under attack. If the pawn is pushed, develop bishop, attacking queen at the same time. And after queen moves, slide queen over. Hey bishop, where are you going? Rook can't protect bishop, so just take it with bishop. And knight can't take bishop back because it's pinned. Black is forced to move the knight. Indeed, bishop is safe. But everything is about to change. Fast. Hey girl, how are you? And if queen takes the pawn, just play bishop b3. A discovered check. Black's queen falls. Or if queen moves away, trying to start a fight? No, I'm not interested in your offer. Look at all the threats coming your way. Maybe bishop f7, or maybe queen takes the free pawn. What would you do as black? Let's say black plays knight f4. Not only is it attacking bishop, but queen is also ready to take g2. That's clearly checkmate. No problemo, just give check. King can go to d7 or d8. It doesn't make any difference. Let's see what happens if king d8. Feel free to pause the video. What's your move here? Let's rock and roll! The rook! Check! If king takes rook... Oh no! My rook! Let's finish the game. Check. King moves. Another check. Only move. Oh la la, mate! A stunning checkmate starting with a rook sacrifice. Bro, yes! What if the king isn't interested in the rook and goes to d7 instead? Just keep giving checks. If king takes rook, or even takes bishop, it's still queen e7. Mate. Let's take one example. If king takes bishop, then queen e7, checkmate. So no matter which variation black chooses here, black loses. Now what if the king doesn't go to d8, and instead goes to d7? I think it's still hopeless. Queen check. After king takes bishop, play queen e7. Checkmate. And it's the same if the king moves back. Checkmate. Let's move on. So if pawn takes d4, you already know what's coming. We've already gone through that line. Black isn't losing right away, but it's very difficult for them to create any counterplay. And the correct move for black is c6. Go ahead and castle kingside. Then we launch an all-out attack. And pawn still shouldn't take pawn. That would make black's position even worse, because now we have a rook that's ready to break through any time. And in many cases, black will usually respond with g6, preparing to fianchetto bishop. Just take the pawn. Queen f6 is coming next. Knight is still pinned, so it's check, and the rook is going to fall. Let's say black plays bishop g7, keeping an eye on f6. Now it's time for your knight to start dancing. It can jump to c5 or to g5. Very flexible. If bishop takes pawn... Oh my gosh! That scared me. Pony! Give check. If king d6... No good, my friend. Knight f7, forking the king and queen. Of course, king has to go to d7. Still. Knight f7, attacking the queen, bishop, and rook. And if the rook pins knight, just take bishop. Of course, it's with check. So your queen is perfectly safe. So, the best move is queen c7. Yep, it's covering bishop, just take the rook. After bishop takes knight, let's move rook to the open e-file. Look, black's position is still pretty cramped, guys. All you need to do now is develop your last minor piece. Queen's rook can also join the attack on d1. Even though black is still up a minor piece, your position is much more dominant. Okay, let's say queen d6, giving the king a little more room. Just take the pawn. I mean, a roasted knight, bro. Pawn takes. Bishop g5. Knight is under fire! Of course, knight has to move. Rook to d1. Queen has been ready this whole time! Now it's rook's job to finish off the pawn. Be careful! So, go ahead and continue the game as usual. We still have a pair of rooks. Even though we're down a minor piece, trust me, you're still better here. Stockfish gives white an evaluation of around plus 2.8. If king goes to c6, trying to protect the pawn, just push pawn to c4. Black's position will still collapse. So, enjoy the game. Alright, let's move on to the last variation. Earlier, we looked at knight e7. Now what if black plays knight b4? It not only protects the knight, but also attacks the pawn on c2. Just ignore it and castle. And knight shouldn't rush to take c2, because it has lost one of its defenders. That means it still has to look after its buddy. So if knight insists on taking the pawn, go have some fried duck for lunch. Check! After the king moves, play queen f7. King moves again. Knight e5. Checkmate is coming! So black will usually push the pawn. That's the top move. And now knight is completely safe. The key move here is d4. Because if pawn takes pawn, black had better be ready for the rook to crash in. The party is about to begin. Or if knight takes pawn, yep, knight is covering e1 while attacking rook at the same time. The position is still far from easy, bro. Just take the pawn. And if knight takes rook, don't resign. The game's far from over. Let's fight. A discovered check is coming. Of course pawn takes knight. Then rook d1. What's your move if you're playing black? Here, the engine's top move is pawn takes bishop. Of course, just take the queen. According to the engine, white is up by around +4. And unfortunately, the pawn can't save itself because it's pinned to the king. As you can see, black has a very hard time finding moves. The position is completely tied up. If king moves, thanks, bishop b5, black's queen falls. Or if king d7, still, black's queen falls. Or just develop bishop, a perfectly natural human move. It also opens the way for rook. Go ahead and take the pawn. Attacking queen. And the issue is, even though the queen has plenty of squares to run to, not a single one is safe. Bishop is under threat too. And there's also the threat of a discovered check. Black's position is about to collapse. Hey, bro. Yep, I'm good. What if queen takes rook? Hasta la vista, baby! Thank you, and check. King e7. Another check. After king f8, then queen f7. Good night. Black king is dead. Let's just play the engine move. Check. Go ahead. Take it with king. Hey, queen. Yes. I'm leaving. Check. Oh no. We block and check right back. If king takes pawn, sorry, mate. Or if king goes back to e7, it's still queen f7. Checkmate. Okay, what if queen gives check from a different square? Just block. Queen has to move again. And after another check... Wait a second. Why are there so many checks? Uh-oh. We've got a problem. Hang on. Let's take a sip of hot coffee first. Aha! King F1 is perfectly safe, bro. After queen gives another check, just play king G1. And that's the end of the checks. The pressure is about to swing right back to black. Hey, bro! But can't queen just take your killer bishop here? Well, that's the problem. Everything's falling apart. Everything's a mess. Okay, then. Let's just try giving check. If king takes pawn, give another check. If queen takes bishop, of course, queen takes queen. Checkmate. Or, if king moves... Hey, pawn, time for a surprise. Mate! So no matter which variation black chooses, the black king isn't getting away. Let's say the king retreats. Another check. Only move. Yes, mate! A beautiful checkmating technique using bishop and rook to drive the king across the board. Pretty beautiful, isn't it? Okay guys, that's today's lesson on how to play the fried liver attack. If you still haven't got the patterns down, feel free to watch the video again. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more videos and the latest chess traps, only on Chess Tricky. Wishing you happiness and success always. Take care of yourself. Thanks for watching!